Time for our latest installment of Inside Justice with Onondaga County District Attorney Bill Fitzpatrick, talking about some of the biggest issues in local law. And thanks for joining us again this month, Mr. DA.
Hey, good to see you, man. Jackie.
Glad to have you back.
Have you.
It was a big development in this aging murder case now, going back 25 years.
1987.
Valerie Hill was the victim.
Right.
And what are your thoughts on how the court has ruled? And they've said that they're not too happy with the way this turned out.
Yeah, you know, I have a lot of respect for the court, obviously, but I'm real troubled by the decision. It was almost condescending. It was like, you guys upstate, you don't know what you're doing. We're a lot smarter than you. And I'm surprised that Judge Pooler didn't enlighten them that we really, we had flush toilets up here and all kinds of great things. But this is a solid case, and you will not find, with the exception of Cyril Wecht, a competent forensic pathologist, to say that it was not possible for this woman to have been killed Friday night. They kind of jumped on Cyril Wecht's bandwagon. Apparently they don't know much about him. I know plenty about him. He was one of 14 forensic pathologists that reviewed the Kennedy assassination for the House Select Committee in the mid-'70s. 13 of the 14 said one bullet fired through Kennedy caused the wound to Kennedy's neck and to Governor Connally. 13 out of 14. He was the gadfly that said no, and was a consultant to Oliver Stone's film JFK, which is the worst film of the 20th century.
So he's always out there on his own island, in whatever his opinion.
Cyril, he's a very likable guy. He certainly has some ability, but he loves to be the gadfly and be the contrarian. This case, she was killed Friday night, Saturday morning. 12 people that sat and listened to all the evidence agree with that. And this issue, the frustrating thing is that issue has been litigated ad nauseam at the state level.
The issue of time of death?
Yeah.
Time of death.
Yeah,
But
why?
Now she lived
that
in Eastwood. She was a nurse.
doubt.
Right, he had an alibi for Saturday night. In fact, I'm so sure that the alibi was false because he went up to people that he very rarely conversed with and said, "Hey, how you doing? Make sure in other words, make sure you remember that I was here." Of course, and he's speaking about Valerie in the past tense, and all her friends are saying, "Well, no, she's in Saratoga because she's been planning a trip to go see her girlfriend for a week. She never showed up in Saratoga. This is a very responsible person. Her cat was outside. No, she never answered a phone call on Saturday or Sunday. Her stepmother was dying at St. Joe's. She never once called her father. Where was she? She was dead."
Is it unusual that the court is it's almost questioning the facts, it seems like?
I've never seen a
decision. At that level, that's not what happened.
I've never seen a decision like this
They
before
said
in
it
my
was
life.
compelling enough that it
Yeah,
deserves another look.
they said, based on what we have in front of us, Hector Rivas is innocent. Now, they deny that they're saying that, but you can deny it all you want. That's what they're saying. We'll get it. If I have to try him again, he'll be convicted again.
That would be sometime down the road still.
That would be sometime down the road.
Decisions would have to come
yes.
along.
He's been in jail 19 years. I suspect he's going to be in jail
Serving life.
another 19 years because he deserved. He was a serial abuser of women. It wasn't just Valerie Hill that he assaulted.
Let's talk about bath salts. We can't seem to get away from this phrase. Every
Right.
day in the news we hear of another case. At first we thought it was one county or another. Now we realize it's just all over.
Yeah.
What are you seeing on the investigative level, and what can be done from the
Well,
prosecutor?
first of all, the Attorney General is doing what he can civilly to try to close somebody, or at least not close them down, but at least prevent them from selling these things. The problem is when you create a local law making the stuff illegal, the ingredients change, and what is illegal on Monday becomes a new drug on Friday. My office right now, we're going to be working with the Syracuse Police Department and the Sheriff's Department and the State Police and the other town and village agencies, and we're going to be looking at alternative charges that we can bring against people that sell these types of drugs, including reckless endangerment. Because this isn't a recreational drug that you can use, and with all due respect, I mean, you can smoke marijuana and not go out and run naked down Salina Street and try to kill yourself.
or others.
Or others. With bath salts, it's an all or nothing. It's not a recreational type drug where people use it to escape in their homes for a few moments. It's as dangerous as anything I've seen in 35
So hopefully
years.
increasing the penalty will prevent it.
Yeah, at the very, very least, I think what we're going to do is a coordinated effort to embarrass the hell out of these people and try to shut them down civilly if we can't do it criminally.
Were you pleased with this plea bargain earlier this week with Nicole DeJanes?
Yeah, I was.
Is it the right ending to this
well,
case?
Pleased is a tough word, but look, we were reasonable with her and her lawyer from day one. Her lawyer, and not criticizing him, but he dragged it out. He wanted to get an expert, and he finally, ironically enough, here we are talking about another expert who said that it's possible the baby was stillborn. Well, now we know that's not true because she admitted in court that she suffocated the baby and disposed of it in the trash bin. We were never looking for a 25-year to life sentence. There's so many emotional factors that go into a decision like that, but it's still, Isabella was a human being, and there's so many avenues that she had available to her. She could have, given the baby up for adoption. She could have legally deposited the baby at a safe haven, under Senator Hoffman's law. Pleased, Matt, is tough. I'm very, very proud of the Liverpool Police Department. They did a great job in bringing Isabella's killer to justice.
And for panicking, so 13 years. 13 years.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what you get.
Yeah.
And finally, the university came out with an attorney fine report last week. Did you get a chance to
How
look
did
at
we
that?
we almost got out of this segment without Bernie Fine.
I just wa- did you get to look at
No,
what they did?
I talked to the lawyer from New York City. They gave me a courtesy call, and he said, "Do you want a copy of it?" I said, "No. That way, if it's leaked, you can't blame me."
Yeah.
But again, I'll say it again. Everything they said in their report, I said on December the 7th, and I would have been a lot cheaper for the university. I didn't charge them a dime.
We'll leave it there. Although we'll find a way to come back to it. at some
Yeah, I'm
point
sure you-
in
I'm sure
future
you will.
months. Thanks very much. We'll be back with more.